Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call. My name is Shay Shiva. I am the admin for Web3 Sonic. A little background about me. I am a computer engineer by trade. I manage multiple different e-commerce platforms, and I provide support remotely for multiple different platforms. Web3 Sonic is my new and my only platform at the moment that is 100% mine. And I created it because I wanted to show people a way how you could acquire digital assets using smart contracts. And there's multiple different blockchains out there, but we chose the Sonic blockchain. Sonic is a new blockchain, a new EVM layer one blockchain that just went live back in December. We initially started off with on the OPBNB blockchain, and then once Sonic went live, we migrated over 100% over to the Sonic blockchain. So Sonic is an upgrade to the Phantom blockchain. It's not a new project, right? But the token and the blockchain is brand new, and we are currently the fastest EVM layer one blockchain. So what that means is when it comes to smart contracts, we are on the fastest blockchain. And that's not us saying that. That's different third-party sites that monitor performance, right? Sonic blockchain is capable of over 400,000 transactions per second. The maximum transactions processed so far have been about 3,000 transactions per second, right? 2,700 or something around there, right? So we're faster than Solana. And unlike Solana, we can handle smart contracts, right? So I created this smart contract. I wanted it to be an instant 100% payout smart contract where you kept 100% of your network, but you were still benefiting from the leverage that comes with a referral or network marketing structure, right? This is a membership platform, right? So when you unlock the levels, you get access to different AI products and services and tools and resources when it comes to Web3, DeFi, trading, things like that, right? This is a complete ecosystem, right? So there's multiple ways for you to earn. However, this presentation focuses on the smart contract, right? We don't share any of the information on anything else, right? Outside of our membership base, right? So if you want to learn how everything works, become a member, right? It's almost free to activate your wallet and become a member on this smart contract. The first thing you need to do is download the a Web3 wallet, right? There's different options for Web3 wallets. There's MetaMask, there's SafePal, Trust Wallet, Token Pocket, right? There's multiple different wallets you can use. They all have their pros and cons, right? The wallet that we use and recommend is the Rabby wallet, right? The website is Rabby, RABBY.io, right? You can download it on your phone or install it on your computer, in your browser, or on your desktop, right? And this is a Web3 wallet that is approved by the Sonic blockchain. It was the first approved open source wallet for Sonic, right? So all the integrations for Sonic are already built into the wallet, right? So yes, you can use third-party wallets like Trust Wallet or SafePal or MetaMask, but you're going to have to put in the token address and you're going to have to go to different third-party sites in order to swap your tokens, right? If you're using the Rabby wallet, you can do everything within the Rabby wallet. Like you can swap your Sonic for Bitcoin for USDC, right? And you can connect to directly to the Sonic blockchain, and you can check your points, right? So Sonic currently has an active airdrop. So just by becoming a member and just by depositing some Sonic in your wallet, you start to accumulate points. And in June, you will be able to redeem those points for actual Sonic tokens, right? We don't know exactly how much yet, but there's 200 million Sonic tokens that are in the airdrop, right? And those tokens will be distributed beginning in June. So right now there is a migration going on between the Phantom token and the Sonic token, right? Up until June. Once that migration finishes and everyone has migrated their FTM or their Phantom tokens over to Sonic, then Sonic will go ahead and start distributing those Sonic points, right? Sonic is rapidly becoming a powerful force, right? Even only 5 months, right? 4 or 5 months now. I think we're going into our fifth month now, right? Since Sonic went live, right? The token is still hovering around 50 cents, right? But it has very, very strong support between 40 and 50, right? As soon as the price drops down to that area, it's immediately bought up, right? So you can see the lowest we dropped was a couple of weeks ago when the entire crypto market dropped, right? We came down to about 39, 40 cents, right? And a lot of our members were able to pick up Sonic tokens at that point. And they're up, a good, 10% since that, right? 10, 15, 20%, right? So we know that this token is going to skyrocket because every other EVM chain that's above $1 billion in TVL is currently trading at least 10 times the price of Sonic right now, right? So there's a lot of upside potential to this token, right? But first comes the technology, right? The technology has to be sound, it has to be proven, right? And then the market comes, right? And we're fortunate enough to be able to get into this opportunity before the rest of the world finds out about it, right? Because Sonic is in direct competition with Ethereum and BNB, right? And Polygon, you could count Polygon in, right? But we're already blowing Polygon away, so I wouldn't even. I'm only focused on the ones that are ahead of us, right? And now. We are very, very excited that with our Satoshi Matrix, we are able to bring Bitcoin to Sonic, right? So the Bitcoin version that we're using is wrapped Bitcoin. It's wBTC. This is the DeFi version of Sonic. And, if you've been following Trump and his crypto endeavors, you know that this is what he's purchasing, right? He's not purchasing real Bitcoin. He's purchasing wBTC because it's just faster. And the transaction fees are a lot less, right? It's instant, right? And they hold over 128,000 Bitcoin, right? In on-chain validation, right? This is not a made-up number. This is real-time stats that are sitting in an Ethereum smart contract. And because Sonic has a direct bridge to Ethereum, right? wBTC was able to bridge that token over to Sonic very, very easily. And we were able to deploy our smart contract, which went live this weekend, right? So we went live. We deployed the smart contract, I believe on Friday or Saturday, somewhere around that. We did some initial testing. We only opened up the first 2 levels, right, just to make sure and test and everything was working properly. And then on Sunday, we unlocked all the levels, right? So currently all 5 levels are unlocked in the smart contract. So let me run down and explain how this 100% and 25% payout works with the Sonic smart contract, right? This is our first smart contract that was deployed back in December. There's 10 levels starting with 10 Sonic, right? So the current price for 10 Sonic is around $5, right? So you're going to need that as a very minimum to activate your account on Web3 Sonic, right? Nothing happens until you activate level 1. Right. Once you have level 1 activated, then you can go ahead and activate the Bitcoin smart contract, which initiates the 3x2 matrix, right? But it's connected to the Sonic AI virtual matrix, right? So it requires you to have at least level 1 activated so that it can use the AI virtual matrix, right? To help you build your team and your network, right? There's a calculator here. There's a breakdown, again, of each level cost, right? How much you make per level. But it's 100% payout on all your odd referrals, right? So your first, your third, your fifth, your seventh, your ninth to infinity, right? This is not a traditional matrix. It's an infinite pay line, right? You can have infinite people under you, right? You can refer as many people as you want, 5, 10, 20, 100, right? And the more I built this because I'm a leader, right? I've put hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people into other platforms and have watched them either just fall apart or disappear, right? So I know I am capable of bringing lots of people to my system. So I created this so I would not have any limits or restrictions on how many people I could invite to the system, right? And it uses a very fair structure, right? The odd payouts pay out 100%, and the even payouts pay out 25% 4 levels below you, right? So when you come in, you bring in that first person, you get 25%. They bring in their first person, you get 25%. They bring in their first person, you get in 25%. They bring in their first person, you get 25%. Right. So it's 100% payout on both levels. We don't take any admin fees. One of the great things about Sonic is that they give 90% of the transaction fees back to the developers that are building on Sonic, right? This is a proof of stake network, right? So we have the opportunity to actually build something that's really truly 100% payout, right? And not have to take anything, right? And I dare you to find another smart contract or another system that's really doing 100% payout, right? They're taking anywhere from 2 to 5 to 8 to 10%. And they should, right? Because in order to build something valuable and in order to make it successful, you need to have that residual income coming in. But we chose a different model, right? I make money the same way as my members do, and as the people that I bring in, right? I don't want to have an unfair advantage, right? I want to share something with the people who I bring in, that they have the same opportunity, right? They can go out and make more money than I can, right? With the system, right? So we built it in such a way that it's fair and it works. It's very simple, but it's very effective in how it works. So that is the Sonic Matrix. Let's talk about the Bitcoin Matrix, right? So the Bitcoin Matrix has 5 levels, right? And it starts off with 10,000 Satoshi, right? That's 0.0001, right? In Bitcoin, right? One Satoshi is the lowest unit in Bitcoin, right? There's about 21 million Bitcoin maximum that will ever be available, right? And each Bitcoin has 100 million Satoshi, right? So we have only 5 levels in this smart contract. It's very easy to come in, right? Share this with a few people, cycle a few times, and then you can upgrade to level 1, right? Level 1 only requires 1 full cycle for you to be able to upgrade to level 2, right? Level 2, you make way, right? You only need 2 payments coming in here, and then you have enough to upgrade to level 4. So we made it very easy for you to climb up these levels and be able to upgrade and position yourself, right? This system was built for speed, right? I've been in this space for 23 odd years, right? And this is my second project, right? I would call it. The first one didn't go so well. We won't get into that. That was a long time ago, back in 2018. But I took a long break after that, and I came back in August of last year, right? And then that's when I started working on Matrix BNB, and then we decided to focus more on the Sonic blockchain, right? So everything has been migrated over to Web3 Sonic, and now we are 100%. We have our own smart contract, we have our own ecosystem, our own DApp, and I have been building nonstop for the last 6, 7 months, building this platform, right? So what you're seeing is what we have currently today. If the person who invited you, they will tell you how much the platform has changed and improved since we started. But at the end of the day, our membership is 100% intact, right? Because we have been using smart contracts. And we have been able to upgrade and enhance the platform and just keep making it better and better. But 5 levels here, right? $10, 100, 500, 1,000, and then level 5 is 10,000, right? May take you a little while to get up to, the 10,000 levels, right? Two cycles here, right? And you should be able to upgrade there. But then at this point, you're making $60,000, right? On level 5. right? And again, if my entire strategy with this system, right, is to teach people the right mindset, to teach people the right tools that they need to use, right? There's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of different leaders that have different systems, right? But their systems are not duplicatable, right? They can't bring in a new person and get them up and running very quickly, right? I can do that. I can sign up someone, right? Let's look at my chat here, right? Lisa just came in, right? Let's use her as an example, right? So Bitcoin 2141. She puts in her ID number, right? And she is ready to go, right? She is ready. Her entire marketing system is completely done and built for her, right? Her ID number is here. Someone goes in and register in here, right? And let's do that, right? Let's give Lisa her first sign up, right? So I'll walk you guys through the process. So let's go ahead and disconnect this wallet here, but we'll go back to the main site. Let's refresh it, like if we're starting as a new person, right? And then let's say Lisa shares the opportunity with our first person, right? 2141 is our ID. They come in, they click change. Now their ID is completely integrated into the system. They click deploy agent, right? Now it's there. And then let's call this one Satoshi Matrix. Right? The first thing you'll want to do, obviously, is download, set up the wallet. You're going to want to fund it with Sonic, right? So let me show you how to do that real quick. Just I'll run through it quickly. So on our homepage, you can use our swap, right? And if you have any other cryptocurrency, you can go ahead and actually it's not there. It's on the DApp page, right? So you come into our DApp page. There's lots of videos here, right? Lots of different landing pages that you can share with your ID number. But if you come into our bridge here, right? Let's say you have BNB, right? Let's say you have USDT on, let's see what we have on the buy. Is that CeeLo? No, that's CeeLo. All right. USDT. Let's see if we can find it. All right, the list has gotten low. I don't see Binance on here. Maybe it's just loading slow. We can use a different token, but BNB, right? So let's say you have some BNB on the Binance Smart Chain, right? And you want to go ahead and swap it for some Sonic, right? You know you need at least 10 Sonic to get started, right? So you'll just go in here and put in that amount, right? Just give it a few seconds to calculate and update, and then you'll be able to swap that Sonic, right? It's going to ask you for your Sonic address. So when you go into Robbie, right? Must be the Zoom, but my connection is loading really slow here. But when you come in here, you'll be able to copy the wallet address, right? So you just copy this wallet address here, and then you'll just put it in here when you click on exchange. Then they'll give you the address for you to send your BNB. Now you can do this with Bitcoin, you can do this with Ethereum, whatever current crypto you have. Just remember you're putting in the price of the crypto, right? We don't work with the US dollar value because the US dollar value is always going up and down, right? The crypto value is always the same, right? 0.01 Bitcoin is always 0.01 Bitcoin, right? But the value is moving up, right? So everything is always priced on the internet in cryptocurrency, right? It's not priced in US dollars, right? So whatever amount you have here, you can go ahead and put that, but you can use that swap to come in and get started. And then let's go back here, right? So this is thing. So the first thing we'll do, right? So now let me show you my wallet, right? So my wallet is set up with Sonic, right? This is a test wallet I'm using for this presentation. But we'll go ahead and sign up under Lisa, right? Give her her first sign up. Help her along a little bit. So if you click here on the wallet, right, you'll see that I have 0.01 Bitcoin, right? wBTC, right? If you type in here just wBTC, right, the token will come up, right? But you can see I have $10 here, right? You can see the Bitcoin network that's providing the bridge, right? You can get the token address, right? So if you're using SafePal, you will have to add this token address manually to SafePal, right? But if you're using Robbie, everything is already built into the wallet, right? So there's nothing else that you need to do. But this wallet's funded and ready to go. So once your wallet has some Sonic in it, right, you'll need at least one Sonic, right, to cover the transaction fees, right? Because you're going to need to register. And then that's going to give you access to the dashboard. And then you're going to need at least, right, at least 10 Sonic, right? Right now, I've already registered, right? So let's see what happens here. Hang on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I forgot the Sonic. Amateur mistake there, Shay. All right, so hang on 1 second. Let me just swap that over and then I'll come right back over. So this address here, I have that address. The great thing about this is Sonic is super, super fast. So transactions are almost instantaneous. So let's turn back the screen share. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen, but let's go back and check the wallet, right? So that was a good test. Let's make sure that we have everything that we need. So you'll see in this wallet now, I have 17 Sonic, right? So I have enough to upgrade in level 1, and I have at least 0.001, right? So now I have enough to get started, right? It's roughly about $15 depending on the price of Sonic and depending on the price of Bitcoin, right? You'll need at least $15 minimum to activate both the Sonic level 1 and the wBTC version of level 1, right? So the first thing we'll do is go ahead and click connect. It's going to ask us if we want to use the Rabi wallet. Very important when this comes up, verify the address. Make sure it says dap.web3 Sonic. Make sure the network here says Sonic, right? It's going to default to Ethereum, right? And then where it says my mark, you want to go ahead and click on trusted, right? That's just telling Rabi that you trust the website, right? And then you can go ahead and if you ever have to do the other upgrades, right, it's going to know that this is already a trusted site, right? So it's going to give you less warnings and notices, right? If you mark the site as trusted, right? And just a side note on that, right? That is the best form of security on the internet, right? It's to block everything and only allow the traffic that you know and approve, right? That's my background is IT security, and that is the PCI compliant standard, right? Is to basically there's a lot of bad things out there on the internet. So if you have a firewall on your computer, block everything, right? And only permit the traffic that you know that reduces the chances of you being hacked by a lot, right? Anyway, we'll go ahead and connect to the wallet here, right? And then now you can see the wallet is connected up here, and you can see it's showing my current balance of 17 Sonic, right? So if this number is less than 10, right, you won't be able to log in. So let's go ahead and register. We'll go ahead and register, right? Right? You can see there's no balance change, right? There's no fees for this transaction, right? It's going to go ahead and create that, right? And then once it creates that, right, you can log in to the dashboard, right? And this is our Web3 Sonic dashboard. This is where you'll be able to track all your referrals, get access to see your downline. You can see the different contracts, right? There's 3 contracts currently that make up this ecosystem, right? There's a registration contract that tracks all your referrals. There's a Sonic track smart contract that tracks all your Sonic payments, and then a Bitcoin smart contract, right? We have the swap, and this is our live stream where we share our content, right? This is also a content management platform, right? So we're always putting out content. You can access our training here by clicking on this unmute button.
Stood someone sharper, stronger, more focused.
All right, just unmute that. That's running 24/7. And there's new content added every single day. So definitely highly recommend, right? Mindset is the most important thing. And then the second most important thing is your financial education, right? Is making the right moves when it comes to DeFi and Web3 and not leaving your money sitting in your bank account, right? Putting it into cryptocurrency and putting it to work for you. So once you're logged into the dashboard, you'll see the 10 levels. So let's go ahead. Step one is to upgrade level one, right? Again, you must have at least 10 Sonic, right?
And unsatisfied. And five being issue resolved and
All right. No, sorry about that. All right, so we'll go ahead and confirm this transaction, right? And give it a few minutes. Usually as soon as you do it, it is confirmed on the blockchain. You just have to reset the website, right? Because or reload the website because the website doesn't update fast enough for Sonic, right? Sonic is almost instant, right? So the website doesn't pick it up unless you refresh it. But just refresh the page and then that'll come up, right? The second thing that you want to do, right, is go ahead and activate your AI agent, right, which is 10,000 Satoshi, which is about $9.47, depending on the current price of Bitcoin. So the first thing the website's going to do is it's going to ask you to sign and approve this transaction, right? And then it's going to actually take the payment, right? So this is the second transaction where it actually takes the payment. You click confirm, and again, it does it so quickly that the website doesn't refresh, right? So once you make that payment and it says successful, you can go ahead and refresh, right? So once you're logged into the dashboard, now you have level one activated and you have your AI agent, which is level one in the wrapped BTC version of the Satoshi Matrix. You can go ahead and click on that link and it should take you into your current matrix, right? This is a brand new matrix, obviously, right? So the way this works is you have three positions open on your first level, right? This position is going to pay your upline. This position is going to pay you, and then this position is going to pay your upline. And again, the second level works exactly the same. This position is going to pay the upline, right? So now it's going to skip this person and pay the upline. You are currently in the upline position, right? So you're collecting that payment. Same here, right? You're in the upline position, so that payment is going to you, right? This one is going to this person, right? This top payment here is going up there. This top payment is going up here. This top payment is going up here, right? So you collect a total of 7 payments on each 3x2 matrix, right? But this is a one-time out of pocket, right? There's no cost out of pocket, right? So the system automatically deducts the 7th payment, right? Whichever one it is, right? It could falling on any one of these 6 square circles on the bottom layer, right? But whichever the 12th payment is, it automatically pays for your recycle. And then you follow your sponsor, right? You follow your upline, the person who invited you, and you take up a new position on their board. And then now you have your own matrix, right? It's very, very powerful. Infinitely recycling, right? One time out of pocket, one person who refers one person who refers one person, and you get your money back, right? So it's almost impossible to lose with this system, right? Just two referrals, right? And you get your money back. And that could come multiple different ways, right? One person referring one, or you referring two people, right? But this system is based on spillover, right? The Sonic smart contract, it's an infinite pay line, right? But it doesn't have that spillover effect, right? So we wanted to add a passive component to Web3 Sonic, and that's what we implemented with the 3x2 matrix, right? Very, very small, only 12 open spots, right? So you're able to work with your team, right? And build a very, very strong team, right? These 12 people here or 12 spots, right? They're very, very valuable, right? In terms of how quickly you grow, right? So you really want to put very, very good people in these positions, right? Because they are going to continue to grow and multiply. And obviously don't stop with 3 people, right? You want to bring in at least 3 people per day, right? With this system, right? Don't worry about the spillover. Don't sit around and wait around for spillover, right? Spillover happens naturally if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. right, which is sharing, right, then you don't have to worry about spillover, right? But if people are just sitting around waiting for spillover, then it doesn't work, right? The system, the smart contract is going to take care of the spillover, and it's going to work, right? So again, there's 5 levels in here, right? Payout on this level is 6,000 Satoshi. You paid 1,000, I'm sorry, 10,000 Satoshi to start, right? So 6 times what you put in, right? Same thing with level 2. It's 1,000 Satoshi to start, and you get 6 payments, right? Straight to your wallet, right? So you come out about 6,000 Satoshi, right? If you use 500 from that, you have enough to upgrade to the gold level, right? And then now you're making now you're making 3,000, right? What is it? 3 million Satoshi is the payout on this level, right? And again, the faster you get up to these levels, right, you're kind of following the leaders, right? The people who are moving quickly and building faster. So you definitely want to upgrade as quickly as you can, right, to move up. And you definitely want to share this with as many people as you can. But I don't think that there's a better matrix or a faster matrix. I have not seen a 3x2. I've seen 2x3s. And we've seen a couple of different variations of matrices, right? But this one's very simple, very easy to build, and it's very, very effective because it's very, very focused. So that is the Web3 Sonic Satoshi Matrix. Let me see what else. So as I mentioned, we are actively participating in an airdrop from Sonic, right? So the only thing that you have to do to earn Sonic points is to hold Sonic in your wallet, right? You can add the Sonic token here if you're using a different wallet, right? But the website to do that is my.soniclabs.com. You can log in, connect your wallet, right? And you can see how many points you're earning here. All the different apps within the ecosystem, right, is here on their website. You can stake your tokens, and there's multiple platforms that you can stake your Sonic tokens or USDC on Sonic, or even, hopefully soon Bitcoin on Sonic, right? Aave, right, is another platform that as you acquire Bitcoin, you can loan your Bitcoin on that platform, 100% guaranteed, right? And earn a fixed return. They are currently one of the largest players on Sonic, I think over 500 million in Sonic on Aave. Last time I checked, I think USDC, there's over 500 million, right? So Sonic is growing very, very quickly. It's only a matter of time before the token itself takes off, right? Again, we are using wrapped BTC, right? Which is, you'll see they just put out here that they just went live on Solana, and hopefully they'll give us our own page where they can show, right? But look, this just went live, right? There's no BTC on Solana. They're just testing, right? So we are already live on Sonic, right, with wBTC. So very, very cool. But if you want to learn more about wBTC, you can get familiar with them. They're actually owned by BitGo. And like I said, they have over 12 billion dollars in Bitcoin in assets, right, on their smart contracts, right? So very safe, secure, reliable token for us to get in. So recap, right? This is a smart contract, right? We're on the Sonic blockchain. Sonic is currently the fastest EVM layer 1 blockchain. This is 100% decentralized, right? You can see all the functions in the smart contract, and you can see that there's nothing being held in the smart contract, right? Everything is instantly paid out straight to your wallet, peer to peer, right? You don't have to request any withdrawals. You saw from that transaction how how fast Sonic is, right? The transaction fees, right? It was free, right? Less than 0.01. Now you do have to have some Sonic in your wallet to register, right? But it was no change in your balance to register and activate your account on the smart contract, right? So it's free, right? Doesn't cost you anything, right? It just checks to make sure that you do have Sonic, because if you don't have Sonic, then you're not going to be able to do anything, right? And this is completely open source, right? It's using the latest, greatest cutting edge technology, right? We're on the fastest blockchain, lowest transaction fees, instant confirmations, right? 100% payout, right? Using a powerful 3x2 smart contract, right? Very easy to set up, right? You don't need to have any special knowledge, right? The person who invited you will help you activate your account. Once your account's activated, there's nothing else that you need to do to learn how this works. All you have to do is share it, right? You get an ID number, you share it, right? So Lisa got her ID is 2141. You sign up, you have an ID number, you send people to Web3 Sonic with that ID number, right? That's pretty much it, right? In terms of getting started with this platform. So I'm gonna play a video here, a really quick video, and then we'll go ahead and stop things and open it up for Q&A.
The revolution in earning massive passive income paid directly in Bitcoin. In this presentation, I'll introduce you to a powerful system fueled by a smart matrix structure designed to maximize your earnings and harness the true potential of blockchain technology. Let's discover how you can take part in the next generation of decentralized income. Here's how the Web3 Sonic system works. Simply invite 3 people to join you. Each of them invites 3 more and so on, creating a powerful network effect. You earn 100% of the Bitcoin in the form of wBTC from every matrix spot. With each cycle, you automatically recycle and unlock unlimited opportunities to keep earning. One of the biggest advantages of this system is spillover. Even if you're not the top recruiter, you benefit as your team grows and places members under you. This means you receive boosted earnings and your network accelerates growth, thanks to the collective power of the matrix. Web3 Sonic brings you instant Bitcoin payments, leveraging blazing fast blockchain technology. Plus, our AI-powered system is fully plug-and-play, automating your earning potential, so you can focus on enjoying the rewards. Take advantage of a truly global platform. Web3 Sonic operates across borders with full decentralization and blockchain security. Experience unlimited income potential with instant payouts, all delivered through Sonic S and wBTC tokens. The process is simple. Register on Web3 Sonic to join, invite others to build your network, start earning Sonic S and wBTC payments, and recycle your position to open new matrix cycles for continuous earning. Powered by the Sonic blockchain, you benefit from lightning-fast transactions, full EVM compatibility, lower fees, and enterprise-level security, ensuring your earnings are both instant and safe. Our smart contract technology automates the entire process, enabling instant, secure, and peer-to-peer Bitcoin payouts. No intermediaries are required, ensuring transparency and maximum efficiency. With Web3 Sonic, you can earn massive passive income paid in Bitcoin. Enjoy the benefits of Bitcoin and wrapped Bitcoin with daily earnings, consistent passive income streams, and unlimited potential, all supported by our robust ecosystem. Take your earnings further with AI-powered analytics, automated marketing tools, and access to premium membership perks. Optimize your strategies. Reach a broader audience and unlock exclusive benefits designed just for you. Getting started is easy. Set up your Rabbi digital wallet, register your Web3 Sonic account, upgrade your matrix position, and start receiving wBTC payments instantly. The path to financial empowerment is just a few steps away. Join the Web3 Sonic movement today and start earning Bitcoin daily through the power of smart contracts. Visit web3sonic.com to get started and become part of the next evolution in decentralized income.
Right, so that's our presentation for Web3 Sonic. You can get it right from our website. You can download that video and share it. It's also on our YouTube page. But please get back to the person who invited you, ask them for their ID number, and then just come to the Web3 Sonic website, put in their ID number. You can hit change, and then you can deploy and go ahead and get started. So we'll go ahead and end the presentation there, and then we'll go ahead and open up for questions and answers.